Alright, so I wish I could do it in post, but I can't because unfortunately, actually I already did this video, but we're gonna do it again. So I know you guys are a little surprised I'm playing MKX, but I kind of wanted to prove a point here. What I meant by, pros basically said that this game didn't have any neutral, this game, had issues with, like, pressure and knockdown and all that sort of things. Don't get me wrong, like, I totally agree that this game has a lot of, character uniqueness. Like, clearly, some characters stand out more than others. There's way more combos, all that stuff. Trust me, I miss some of that stuff, right? I miss anti-airs. I miss being able to anti-air Ermac jumping at me. Oops. Not used to the lack of run button. There we go. Like, I miss that. I miss being able to restand someone after anti-airing them. I miss all of that, But there's a lot of stuff in this game that I don't miss. Like, for instance, and before anyone says anything, I used to play this character. I know how broken this is. This is ridiculous. Like, the fact that I can do this, and you have to guess, because it's an armored reversal, armored special reversal, can do on wake up, and it pushes you back, right? And I can do it 3 times. As long as I have 3 bars of meter, I can do it, right? I can technically do it 4 times because the last one I think is minus, but it can't be punished from this range. I mean, I guess if it whiffs, right? So I'm gonna walk forward. Oh, sorry, and then do another one. And that itself presents a mind game, right? So I was, talking earlier in the comments about how, like, this game, you can't really go into the lab and lab this, right? Like, if I do this to you 3 times, there's not really much you can do. Like, you just have to guess that I'm gonna do it again. There's no, oh, I'm playing against Jade. If she jumps back and throws glaive, I can walk forward and do this, or I can jump over it or whatever, right? There's none of that in this game. In this game, you just get hit by a reversal, like an armor reversal like Ermac has armor, and there's nothing you can do about it. And the reason I'm saying this is because not every character has this, but Ermac was left with it in the last patch. So, when I picked up Ermac, I just started using this, and then his fast mids, because he's got 11 frame mid that you can stagger. I think it's like -4 or something like that. Let's check. Basic. Yeah, -4. So -4 mid. So you could do a down 3. Down 3 is +15. So you just do this, this, stagger it. Oh, you press the button back to, my armor, right? This, go for a throw. Or, his forward 2, which is also safe on block. Like, all this safe stuff. Down 1, I think it's like 6 frames. He's a 6 frame down 1, if I remember correctly. Yeah, 6 frame down 1. And just do that, to poke out of pressure. So let's say I do this, down 1, just do my turn back, go for a throw, like this, or this, down one, and then go for my overhead, because he's got an overhead too. So like if you do this, he could just go for his overhead instead of doing another one. So now you have to guess which one he's gonna go for, right? And this is kind of my point, is like, it's such a mixed machine, kind of, what is he gonna do, what is he gonna do, what is he gonna do, like, what am I gonna do, how am I gonna counter this, and, in MK11, there are moments like that on knockdown, but for the most part, if you play it safe, you're not gonna be mixed to hell. You know, most of the time you're gonna lose to yourself in that game. In this game, I could just be crazy, do whatever the hell I want, right? You know, and don't get me wrong, like again, I miss like the plus frames because you know, if you look at Scorpion's teleport when you go to restand in this game, he's got a plus 18 restand. This is plus 18 there. So like I can combo him. Right? And get like 29% for a restand, plus 18, go for a throw, you know, go for my low. It's either strike or throw. I think that was right. Oh, yeah, I can't remember it, but you could do this, you know, and plus, like, if you spent a bar, you were like, you got like 40% or something like that. Let's see if I can land it. No, I messed it up, but if you finish that into teleport, it's like almost 38%. Yeah, I messed it up again. But yeah, you can link it into teleport and be like 40% or something like that. And they'd have to guess your throw or strike at the end of it, right? You could go for his overhead, but his overhead was pretty much unsafe and it was really slow. So he wasn't much of a mix-up character, but he was more like a I rush you down, I hit you with one move, and then all of a sudden you've lost 50% of your health, right? Unless you break. And that's kind of the issue with this game is like it's like high level or high guessing situations like that unless you have breaker. You know that Scorpion was balanced in the sense that like his wake up attacks weren't very good. You could try to slip in a teleport here and there, but you know if Ermac knocked you down, for the most part you weren't waking up unless you went for like an armored low. Okay, that's not a good example because I'm not mediating correctly. There you go. You could try to teleport to get out of stuff if they didn't media you correctly. But again, that was a wake up attack that was unsafe. Or it had no armor, no invincibility, no nothing. This game had the opposite of wake up attacks that were useful, you know, unless you were someone like Ermac, Liu Kang, or Raiden that had very, you know, safe wake up moves or safe armored moves. They weren't even wake up moves, they were more like safe armor moves that you just happen to use on wake up. And that's kind of my point. My whole point is that, you know, trust me, like I don't mind coming back to this game, maybe playing it every once in a while, but on a high level, I just couldn't see myself ever playing this and taking it seriously. You know, because you got things like, Scorpion also could because this is Hellfire, right? So technically, he extended his combos even further because he would do like this and the Flame Aura. I don't even remember how to do it, but he would do it in the Flame Aura and then do more damage, right? And he could use the Flame Aura as an anti-air, right? So like if someone jumped at you, that's probably not the best example. Let's have him do a jump 2. So you could combo, right? And again, see, I miss that. I miss anti-airs. I miss plus frames. I miss those things, right? But what I don't miss is being knocked down and having to guess for my life what the fuck I'm supposed to do at the end of the game because this guy, I have no breaker, you know, and, you know, I just don't have an armored move and I'm playing Scorpion. I have to guess, am I going to go for the slide or is he going to meaty me? Or am I going to go for an unsafe slide and he's just going to block it, you know, or do I have no bar and then I can't do anything? Like those things I don't miss, you know. I don't miss not being able to get up off the ground or play, moreover, play the 50-50 pressure game, like, or is he gonna do his armor move, is he not? I don't miss those things because those things just don't seem very skillful to me. Like right now, if I go into MK11, I can go to the practice mode. I can be like, okay, this is why I lost to Jade. This is what I need to do, right? And if I really worried about wake ups, I just don't pressure them on wake up. Never have to worry about wake ups, right? Don't get me wrong, I miss Oki. I miss being able to Oki someone at all. Like MK9, that's something I miss about MK9 is like it was very high stake. If someone did their wake up attack and you blocked it, it got punished. You know, that's why pro players would just simply block on wake up because they understood that. You know, but and I do think that wake up attacks should take some sort of resources. Um, but in this game particularly, I don't think the wake up system was handled as well. And because of that, it led to the running 50-50 pressure situations. Is he going to do this? Is he going to do that? Blah, blah, blah. Um, the only thing, the only thing that I would wish on MK11 is maybe just improve the breakaway mechanic and improve like um, the wake up attacks, maybe tone them down a little bit. And for the most part, it'd be a pretty balanced game. It'd be a pretty enjoyable game. But as of now, you know, MK11 to me is much better than MKX, you know. And that's not saying that, I'm just saying that I think MKX is horrible overall. Like, I don't think I think not having neutral, and most pros that, you know, I've listened to so far, you know, give their kind of opinion is kind of the same thing. Like, not having a neutral, MKX not having a neutral is what makes it not a very good game. And it is enjoyable in the sense that it's fun to watch and that there's clearly character differences and clearly game plans that the characters are designed around. But that doesn't really matter if your game has no neutral. Like if you can't whiff punish properly, you know, and you have to just deal with pressure constantly, and you know zoners that break, like, because that's another thing that a lot of pros talk about too, is like characters like Melina and what's another one? The only one I can think of right now is Melina, but Melina is a good example of like she just keeps throwing side back 1-2, and then you get caught in something, and then as soon as she gets caught in something, she just breaks and then starts backing up and builds meter again. You know, and those type of things, like, you know, you're not going to see those in MK11 just because the meter regenerates automatically. So kind of back to my last point. So I'm going to go over to ninjutsu and show you what I mean by no neutral. But kind of back to my kind of to my last point. I do think that there's clearly people who like MKX more than MK11. And I think they like it more because of the combos, because of the, you know, ability to have character like a diversity, I guess, or like play style diversity, and being able to have the pressure that they want, that they expect from an MK game. And then there's people on the other side who think that MK11 is better because it's more balanced, it's much more fair overall with character, with play styles, or not play styles, but with game plans. And it's also, in a sense, like I said, you can go to the lab in MK11 and you can figure out what you lost to and how to counter it. But in this game, it's just like stuff like Scorpion's forward 2, like, you know, I mean, you can block it, that's about it, right? But you have to fear that he's going to do it, you know, because he could just run up to you and do 114, which is like a 9-frame high, and just hit you immediately. You know, excuse me, or he can like back up, like let's say he expects you to do something, backs up, does back 2, does forward 2, you know. That's not neutral. This isn't neutral, that's auto neutral. Look at that, look how far that goes. Look how far that goes. you know. And if I do it on the tip, it's not punishable. So, here's an example. Oh. This will be my last kind of explanation. I mean, you could punish it with, you know, this thing. But again, it goes back to like, you know, that's an armored move, right? So, and the same thing with, you know, like I said with Ermac, it's the same thing. It's like, you know, if you have Ermac do his push, you know, and you have to guess 3 pushes, like, what are you going to do about that? Or right here. Look at that. That's ridiculous. How are you going to guess that? Like, in between those, he can just run up to you and do his low. Or his overhead. It freezes your character. You don't know what to do. You don't have a counter to that, you know? You just have to react if, you know, expect them to come in. And if you expect wrong, he'll hit you with the second one. So anyway, back to my point. I do think overall MKX was horrible. I think in a competitive standpoint, it has no competitive standing at all. I think, you know, you look at characters like Ermac and even Scorpion, you know, with his restands, and like you ask like, okay, I made one mistake, now I'm losing 40% for the one mistake I made. Same thing with Ermac, like it's like, oh, you know, I think he's gonna do this here. Oh, he armored through, right? And the reason I'm using my characters is because, you know, I have this happen to me all the time, where people will tell me that I don't know like anything about MKX, I don't know blah blah blah, I don't know the metagame, all this. But the thing is, these two characters, I played them, right? I played these two characters. I know how broken they are. I know like it's fucking stupid that they have to hold, you know, 3 EX pushes. You know, I also know like, you know, I can EX push at the beginning of the game, and if they don't block, if they jump, they do anything, right? Because this counter's jumping too. Look at that, because of armor. So, like, I could do that at the beginning of the game and get my bar. And I got 2 bars. I traded a bar for 2. Got the first hit. So, you know, it just, to me, yeah, that's another thing, by the way. You get a bar for getting the first hit in MKX. I don't know why that's a thing, but it is, so. But anyway, the whole point is, you know, even with like throws and everything in MK11, I know people don't like throws, you know, doing a little bit more damage, and you have, you know, deal with them and everything, but, you know, throws can be teched. So there's all these counters to MK11, but MKX, there's no counter. You just block, you know. What are you gonna do? And that's my point. That's why I think MKX overall is horrible. You know, these are just small examples, right? These are examples from my characters. You know, I played Takeda when the game came out. I kind of dropped him a few months after the game came out. And then I played Scorpion. I played Ninjutsu and Hellfire. You know, I played Katana a little bit for a while. I didn't play her for too long. Didn't learn too much about her. But I know she has some broken stuff too. And then I played Ermac, and you know, these characters, just these few characters that I played with, I learned that they had so much dirt, and that's what people like about this game. They like the dirt. That gives they believe that gives the characters uniqueness, right? And it might. I'm not saying that it doesn't. You know, I'm not saying I won't ever play this game again. I'm just saying that I think MK11 overall is the better game, and I'm going to probably play that game a little bit longer than I played MKX, just for the reason that I just don't like having to go and do, you know, having to guess all these mix-ups, you know, and act as if the player is better because of it. Like, it's not, the player's not better, it's just like, I mean, anyone can do this, like a baby can do this, you know? it's not much of a guess. It's just, you know, pressing a button and being like, okay, well, he has to hold this, you know. So anyway, that's all I had to say about it. Thank you guys for stopping by, and I hope that you guys make comments in the comment section. I really kind of want to hear everyone's opinion on this. Hopefully a rational debate about why they think, you know, this game isn't horrible, or why you like this game, why this game is better than MK11. A lot of people seem to prefer MKX over MK11 on social media, at least from what I can see. I might be wrong, but I just kind of want to hear everyone's opinion on it, because every single time I hear MKX brought up, I always hear that it's more fun, right? That's it. I don't hear anything. I don't hear any of the like in-depth things about MKX, because there were a lot of things in MKX, man, I just couldn't stand, you know. And even though I had broken characters like Ermac, I still couldn't stand it. So anyway, you guys have a good day. Have fun playing MK11. Or MKX for that reason.